Okay, so let's move on with our website and creating a testimonial section. So this is really important for social proof. It tells other people who are viewing your business that other people would vouch for you. I don't buy anything on Amazon without checking out 100 reviews first. And I think most people are quite the same. Now, in terms of what we want to do for our website design, one, we want to use the plugins, the functionality that we already have. This is not something that's so important that we need to go out and look for new plugins for particular functionality. This is a very simple thing to be able to do. Now, we have a few options. We could do something where the testimonial slides from one text, from one slide to the other, so that the text comes along and we get to read it, and then it whizzes off and we read a few more. That's an option. We don't have that with the free version of Elementor, and we don't have that either with essential add-ons. We could go off and find a plugin to do that without a problem. There are so many plugins with WordPress. I'm just not sure that it needs that right now. What we could do, however, is have 3 static testimonials and then a link, if we want that, to more testimonials should people want to see more reviews. And you can have your own reviews page quite easily. So with a simple build like this, I would say that's the best way to go. Another note on testimonial plugins is that, I was going to say but when you go around to look at them and see what's there, a lot of them will have a functionality for something like a headshot. So it's like, oh, hi, this is Bob, and Bob is saying this is great. So it has Bob's picture, a picture of the testimonial, and then maybe sometimes it even has the company link or logo, so where they work, and sometimes they even show stuff like social media links and things like that. I don't know why that's needed. Most people giving testimonials or reviews to small businesses, they don't submit a headshot. And if some do, who you really twist their arm, most of them won't. Most of them you'd be lucky to get the review because people just aren't that motivated, unfortunately. So it's not worth building that in. So you can get a testimonial plugin and that offers the headshot functionality. But more often than not, you'll be showing placeholder images instead of Bob's handsome little face. So keep it simple, stupid is the saying that comes to mind here. So what we're going to do is have a heading in our section that says my customers say, or people I've helped, something like that. And then we'll have a list of 3 testimonials, 3 reviews, and perhaps a link should people want to go any further. So let's have a look at this. Oh, Chad or Randall is getting a bit active there, asking for food. Right, so if we start a new section and then we have the column structure here, I'll click this. So we mentioned 3 reviews, but we have a bit of an issue here because we want a headline and then we would like the 3 reviews. And so this is a bit of a problem because we've got 3 columns. If we were, let's just increase the height here so I can show you. If we were to add a testimonial here, and one there, where would we put the headline of my customers say? So I'll quickly show you. There's the headline. So we've got that in the middle. That's great. And then we would want something like testimonial. Testimonial. And testimonial. Okay, so wonderful, but that doesn't look very good. And on mobile responsive, when this column goes under that one and that one under that one, the heading will be stuck in the middle. It doesn't make sense. So what we actually want to do is create a single column section and then use a fantastic little widget that you haven't seen yet. So minimum height, full width section, and we'll put our heading there first. So let's put that there. What my reviews, my beautiful customers say. My customers say. I don't have to fret about all this so immediately. Okay, so we have all that there, but how do we get the 3 columns? Well, what we do is go up to the elements, And up here we see inner section. So we drag that down there between, underneath the header, the heading that we have. And you see now that we have, with this widget, with this element, we have 2 columns, which is fantastic. Okay, so we were after 3 testimonials. So let's add a column. So we right click on a column and then we add another. And now we have 3 columns beneath a heading, which is exactly what we were going for. Okay, so at this point, it's really up to you how you want to design your testimonials. With this, the site seems to be very beachy colored, very light. It's feminine, but as in soft. It's nothing that's too pushy or blocky. And I don't want to do anything that upsets that really with this section. So do I want a background image, or do I want something a bit more subtle and just to let the white space do the talking? I'm leaning towards that. However, I think it would be good to just give you more examples on how to try things. I scurried off I cut camera, and you didn't even know about it. And I went off and got another image, which I thought might help. What am I doing? I'm going to add that. So I'm selecting this section, and then I go to Style, and I'm going to go to Background and Image. Choose the image, and I'm going to swoop that on in. Way. So Insert Media. And again, we've got the typical problems here with an image. Well, not problems, but we have to set how we want it to be. I think that's quite nice. And I'll keep it as default. I want no repeat. And then I would like to cover. Pretty standard background image. Now, this is a high contrast picture, which is what I said not to do. And that's fine. As in that's a good thing not to do. But what I'm going to do is put a white background here, and the text will stand for itself, just like here. And this will be a bit more bold. So what we want to do here is keep it all quite simple, to be honest. I'm going to immediately select that column and make it white. Oh, what am I doing? Getting tired. That's what I'm doing. So that's all white now. That's all white, isn't it? And then select an element and put a text editor in there. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, really happy review by somebody. That's good. We would like that to be a bit more bold, I would say. Maybe not bigger, because we are zoomed out. Always remember that. I've done that so many times, designed to spec, and then realized that I'm zoomed out just to make up for Elementor's squashing up of the screen. I'm not the only person who's done that. So that's a more realistic size. That actually looks okay. I think that a bit of padding would look a bit better on this. So increase that padding, maybe 15. And then we would also want a heading just for the name, just to personalize it. So we've got Betty. That would be good. Obviously, we don't want Betty's name to be so big. H6 would do. H5 looks all right. And that's actually quite nice, to color this up just because we have a color palette. That can just make everything look a bit too blur. So I quite like the simplicity of that. You can do lots of things with testimonials. I think, as I've mentioned in another camera cut that you don't know, you can have a testimonial quote icon here, like the quote, or speech bubble or something. I think, keep it nice and simple. What I will do, however, is select the column, and I'm just going to add margin, which, if you remember, just brings it in a little bit from all of the outside other elements. And then another thing I'm going to do is, with the column still selected, I'm going to choose the color and bring the opacity down a bit. Not so much that the text becomes difficult to read, but just enough to make even the layers background to forefront. Yes, that's correct. Look a bit more nice and layered and connected. Oh, that's the word I was going for. If we have a look up here, it would also suit here, which I'm sure I did. What did I do? I select that heading. I'm sure I brought the opacity down. Yes. What I would also like to do with that while we're here is bring the weight up. Oh, not that much. Chill out. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay, nice. So this is consistent with down here. And I think also we'll copy that. Paste style, but obviously bring the size down. You can see you can end up in a real... You can end up flitting from one to the other, but that's just how it goes. Okay. So we have lorem ipsum, blah, 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 and then the heading. That looks nice. The only other thing I would do to keep design a little bit consistent is bring in the border radius here. So go down to border of the column, and I've got it at 20 for most, for all of the other elements, and I'll keep it like that. The other consistent design element here is a little bit of a box shadow, and I think, yeah, that looks nice. I will also add that to the heading. Oh, already have, not a problem. Okay, so what we want to do is duplicate this column and delete that one. And duplicate this column and delete that one. And then of course you would change the testimonial text there. Mel, and who else gave a testimonial? Frank. Frank gave a testimonial. He's thrilled. Right, so let's select the section here again, because I would like to increase the space between those two elements. And again, I can select this element and increase the top margin. I could select this heading and increase the bottom margin. I'm going instead, as we did with the top banner, to select the section and go to layout. And what did we use? We used space around, I think it was, but we also need to set that to stretch, and it just gives a bit more space. What about space between? That looks a bit nicer. Now that I'm feeling quite happy enough about. If I was to do anything, it would be to add an overlay and perhaps just bring that image down a little bit in terms of how prominent it is. So going to the section, background overlay, we can try this out at least. Add white. There's something like that. It just dulls it down a little bit. That might be a good idea. Maybe actually what we need to do is change it to a bit of a subtle blue. Now I've gone quiet because I'm concentrating. There we go. I think that's a bit better for the readability. So copy that. Oop. Paste style. And paste style. Okay, let's update that. And we'll have a look at how that looks on the website. At 100%. Okay, that's looking pretty cool. That's quite nice. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. And that's how to add a nice little testimonial section to a homepage. Hey there, it's Chris here. Thanks for watching the video. Please do like and subscribe and share and comment if you haven't yet. And I'll see you in the next course video.